Here I am checking in at White Rock Lake again. I chose this spot because as I was walking along, I kept noticing birds flying across the lake in this direction. They look so pretty, just hovering just barely above the lake's surface and flying along, and I hoped to capture some of them on film whenever they come by here. This seems to be a spot that they come by. But looking now, I don't see any, but we'll see. Maybe a few will come by here, and the camera will capture them. Meanwhile, it's, to be honest, I've kind of lost track of the week. I think it's week 6, the beginning of week 6. It's Monday, and it's check-in day. And I'm going through Walking in This World, and I'm still reading the chapter on personal territory, I think it is. And I've got a few more pages left in that chapter. I'm going to be quiet now because a person just passed by. I didn't want to look ridiculous sitting here talking to myself, so that's why I stopped talking. It's so peaceful and beautiful out here. My interest in Dallas has it's taken interesting turns. Like I mentioned on the Artist's Way board at Facebook, and the last time I posted over there, I've been watching the Dallas TV series, which has been really interesting. I'm up to like episode number 8, I think it is. And this series was started in 1978. And it's just been kind of fascinating for me to watch because I know many of the places that are in the film. South Fork Ranch, of course, I've been there because I live here, and I've driven by there a few times. And another very interesting synchronicity is that the Ewing Oil offices are in downtown Dallas, and they look strangely similar to offices where I worked during the 1980s. And just doing a little bit of research online, I've come to discover that indeed the Ewing family has been sort of modeled after the Ewing Oil, and that whole scenario is modeled after the Hunt Oil Company, where I worked for a number of years. Actually, my mother worked there, and I started by working there as a summer employee. I'm going to, again, take a break while this person walks by. Kind of silly. I mean, it doesn't matter. If people look over here and see me talking into a recording device, it's not a big deal. Look, here comes one of the birds. I don't know if it will show up in the video. It might. Here it comes. So I'll find out when I watch the video whether the bird was in it. It probably was. Why wouldn't it be? The camera is pointed toward the lake, so there's no reason why that bird didn't get filmed. But you see what I mean? See why I wanted to set up the camera to capture the birds coming by. Here comes another one. I don't know why. This just looks so cool to me. These birds just skimming along the surface, and that one lifted up, actually, just as it went in front of the camera lens. Yeah, I have more to say about Hunt Oil Company and my experience there. Those offices of Ewing Oil Company look really similar to the offices at Hunt Oil, and I don't think that's an accident. And even I don't know how to explain how strange this is, because I grew up in a family that was very closely connected to the Hunt family. And most people don't know this about me. It's not something that I talk about very often, but it had a profound effect up until, until this day. It's still going on, but I'll just say one more thing, and then I'm going to close this down because it's getting a little long, and I'm going to wrap this up. And my father passed away in 1978, and Mrs. H.L. Hunt, who was alive at that time, she has since passed away, but she attended my dad's funeral, and she was close to my mother. My mother knew her pretty well, and they thought very highly of one another. And Mrs. Hunt gave our family as a gift a framed Bible verse, and I forget the reference exactly where in the Bible it is, but the words I do remember. My mother still has that framed picture hanging on her wall in her home. Mom has since remarried, but the verse says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed upon thee. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed upon thee." And so that verse has always been a little special to me because of Mrs. Hunt's gift. And I will end there. Thanks for listening.